I'm thinking this chick is such a vibe, man. She just seems so happy and so lighthearted. Another Monday Night Raw on the books. Let's jump right into it. We got a wild one. CM Punk opens the show and he says there's a lot of people he could be pissed off at because of recent events, but he's mad at one person and one person more than anybody else, that person being himself. The reason he's pissed off at himself is because him and Paul Heyman have been down this road before. This is not the first time that Paul Heyman has backstabbed CM Punk. He mentioned when he got hit with a chair by Paul Heyman a while ago. Well, not a while ago, but in the past. We all remember the whole Brock Lesnar angle. So CM Punk basically said he should have seen this coming. He could be mad at a lot of people, but he's pissed off at himself. Paul Heyman walks down to the ring. He's also followed by Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. And basically what happens here is Seth Rollins starts spitting some game. He says Paul Heyman has been in CM Punk's corner since day one. Paul Heyman was the one who believed in CM Punk, and Seth Rollins was the one who actually thought CM Punk was a piece of crap. And now he's basically showing his true colors. Basically, Seth Rollins is saying that he's right and that Paul Heyman is the victim and not CM Punk. You have Bron Breakker walking down to the ring. Bron Breakker and CM Punk get into a brawl, with CM Punk getting better of Bron Breakker. Seth Rollins is, of course, in the ring. So CM Punk kind of gets rid of Bron Breakker a little bit. He kind of beats him down, and then he turns his attention to CM Punk. Of course, the numbers game catches up. We get Sami Zayn running down to even the odds. And we have Punk and now Sami Zayn getting their ass beat. What happens now is Paul Heyman hands a steel chair not to CM Punk, sorry. Paul Heyman hands a steel chair to Seth Rollins to use on CM Punk. We got Jey Uso running down to the ring. Jey Uso hands out a super kick to Seth Rollins, and then they send the brand new trio of Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Bron Breakker scrambling. Up next, we got Penta versus Chad Gable, and then Pat McAfee heads to the announce table to a standing ovation. You would think this is like The Rock or like a war hero running down to the ring. I guess people really respect his match, as we should. The whole angle with you essentially have a friend taking up for another friend, that being Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. So, well deserved. We get the match, Penta versus Chad Gable, and Penta hits this beautiful Mexican Destroyer for the win. And I thought to myself that Chad Gable, I know we talk about Dolph Ziggler a lot, but Chad Gable is actually such an underrated seller. When he took this Mexican Destroyer, it looked like Penta just broke his neck. It almost looked like a tombstone. It was really nice. Backstage, we got a Judgment Day segment, and I can see Carlito chopping it up with my girl, Rodriguez. The pop when they finally start dating is gonna be phenomenal. I believe he said something like, I know you miss Liv Morgan, let's go out to eat, we can go to dinner, we'll use your credit card, and you just pay me back. So again, Carlito's comedic timing, phenomenal. Love this dude. Love Raquel. I can't wait until they eventually hook up. You got Dirty Dom talking about he's seen Liv Morgan. I believe it was a trailer or something for a movie. He said it was great, but she said good morning when it was actually nighttime. So then you get the Judgment Day explaining what time zones are to Dominic Mysterio. A funny little segment. Up next, we get the War Raiders versus the American Made. Well, not the American Made, American Made, with New Day on commentary. Michael Cole says that New Day only won at WrestleMania because they cheated, and right away, they nipped him in the bud with this one, and I'm so glad they did. They go, you Michael Cole, of all people, are talking about cheating? Did you not just see the match? Gunther versus Pat McAfee? You were all up in that, and Cole really had nothing to say. Kofi gets involved in the match, causing distraction to the Viking Raiders. Ivar gets hit with a double team move, and they lose the match. American Made takes this one. Next, we got a quick backstage segment with Seth Rollins telling Bron Breakker, I almost said Braun Strowman, well, we know that can't be the case. Seth Rollins telling Bron Breakker that he wants one more thing before Braun leaves the arena, and so now we're kind of on edge. What did he just ask him for? We shall see. they show us some footage of Raw when it went off of air last week, and we actually see that Logan Paul sucker punched Jey Uso. So I guess they are building to the feud still. There was a lot of questions and concerns with people online, and myself too. Like, with nothing going on at Backlash, people thought this feud was scrapped, but no, we are getting Jey Uso versus Logan Paul at, what's the name of the pay-per-view coming up? Jey Uso versus Logan Paul at Saturday Night Main Event. There we go. I just drew a blank. Essentially, we get Jey Uso making his entrance, and it looks phenomenal as always. He picks up a little child. They're eating. Everybody's eating. I need to experience this entrance in person, man, because this looks like such a vibe. He gets into the ring, runs it back one more time. They're chanting one more time. Music starts up. He does it again. Everybody's hype. Everybody's doing their thing. And like I said earlier, we do get the match confirmed. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul at Saturday Night Main Event. Gunther makes his way to the ring and he essentially gets in Jey Uso's face. He says, I will be getting the winner of the Logan Paul Jey Uso match. And essentially the World Heavyweight Championship will be coming back to its rightful owner. Next, we get a Sabu tribute. And this is always tough. Obviously, I don't know these guys, but as a lifelong wrestling fan, a death for one of these WWE superstars always feels like family. Just because, you know, it was every Monday or every Friday or every Thursday or whenever the hell WWE was on. These people were always in my home, always in my house. And I'm sure you're watching this, it's the same exact thing for you. You kind of sound weird for describing it, and that's why I was kind of lost on words. I guess it's just one of those things where if you know, you know. Essentially, rest in peace, Sabu. Thanks for everything you've given to the company. We got a Ludwig Kaiser interview, or at least we were supposed to. Reason I say that, because the camera immediately pans and you see Braun Breaker standing over it down to Jey Uso. And I guess this is what the favor was. Seth Rollins was like, bro, before you clock out, take Jey Uso out for me. Go ahead and do that real quick. Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. And am I tripping, or did AJ Styles get his old theme song back that they don't want none? And the reason I ask is because I was kind of just vibing to it. And then when it ended, when his entrance ended, I was like, oh shit, look at that. I'm pretty sure he got his old entrance theme back. Good on them, because some of these new theme songs, they really aren't it. Anyway, into the match. We get a superplex from Styles to Finn. Finn kicks out of a Styles Clash, which really shocked me. It was super clean. I liked how this looked. I thought that was the end of the match for sure. But Styles goes for it again. JD and Carlito distract AJ to allow Finn to get a near fall. Then you have Penta, who shows up to clean up JD and Carlito, basically even things out. You have Styles winning with a Styles Clash. AJ Styles is your winner. He defeats Finn Balor in the middle of the ring. Becky Lynch makes her way to the ring and she cuts a promo talking about how she made Lyra Valkyria more relevant than she's ever been. She says Becky says the fans loved her until Becky started to win. Then they turned on her. She basically pointed a finger at the fans. She called them a bunch of failures. You know, heel stuff 101. Anytime you're a heel now, you got to blame the fans or point a finger to the fans. I get it. She says, Becky Lynch, of course, that she is whatever the fans say she is. And I immediately thought of that Eminem song. And shout out to Pat McAfee, because he started singing The Way I Am by Eminem. So he got it too. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Main event time. We got Julia and Roxanne Perez versus Io and Rhea. And as Io was making her entrance, I'm thinking this chick is such a vibe, man. She just seems so happy and so lighthearted. I'm really happy that Io's getting the push and the attention that she deserves, because hell, she deserves it. Clap, 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 clap. Rhea threw Rox into the ring over the ropes. There was a point where Roxanne was causing distraction. Rhea goes to grab her. She throws her over the ropes, but Io Sky was on the floor, and so Roxanne kind of just falls on top of Io. And I was like, ooh, that didn't look too good. Ref runs over, checks on Io. Io's fine. It's just one of those things that happen. Not a casualty of war, but I guess, how would you say it? It comes with the territory. Mistakes happen. Glad Io Sky was okay. The fans absolutely love Rhea Ripley. Nothing's changed there. You have Io Sky hitting a missile dropkick. She does her handstand flip into her taunt. There was a point where Rhea Ripley was doing her taunt too. That's phenomenal. You should put that on a t-shirt. I would buy one. Again, shout out to Io Sky. Roxanne takes Julia out by mistake. Julia gets hit with the Riptide to take the L. As Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are celebrating, they do the hand raise. Of course, Io Sky being the champion, she holds her championship up. You have Rhea Ripley staring at the championship, so she's basically signaling that, yo, we're tagging tonight, we're partners tonight, but you know what time it is. I do want my championship back. Raw ends. Really quickly, I noticed that for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view coming up, they actually used the graphics from the Toronto Money in the Bank 2019. I was like, hey, that's kind of dope. Like, that is super clean. Speaking of Money in the Bank, review's over now. If you wanted to rock with me, check out my Money in the Bank Thursday Night Throwdown. It's pretty cool if I do say so myself. You can continue hanging out with me, and I appreciate you guys. That's another Raw in the books. Thursday Night Throwdown's coming up. I will see you guys for that. Hit that link, like I was saying earlier. And please, if you do rock with me, hit subscribe, hit like, everything helps. I'm not gonna ramble on. I will see you guys for Thursday Night Throwdown. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.